Oh, yeah. And we are live. Welcome, Crypto Warriors, to the Gentleman of Crypto, episode 485. Today is Wednesday, October 9th, and I'm your host, Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10ish. And it is a very 10ish day, definitely. I have some great news stories for you today, though, starting with the top story. Binance now accepting fiat through Alipay and WeChat. The SEC in settlement talks with fraudulent ICO organizer Reggie Middleton. UK central bank establishes provisions for Facebook's Libra. German programmer hacks back after Bitcoin ransomware attack. And last but not least, Poloniex delists clams, Pascal, Steam, Navcoin, game credits, and library. So we'll get into that. But first, I know some people are very excited this morning. Let's get into some market updates. A few people woke up to a lot of green in the crypto market. And we'll start with Bitcoin at $8,584. Is up 5% on the day. Ethereum at $192 is up 7% for today. Litecoin at $59 is up 5% as well today. Ripple actually showing some life at 28 cents is up 3% as well. And Bitcoin Cash coming in at $238 is up 4% today. So green across the market. Don't get too wild with it. However, one thing you do want to remember in this market is that Q4 is one of the biggest times for investment. If you are a millionaire or multimillionaire investor, you want to invest the money that you have made this year before you are tax liable in 2020. So you look to invest in different projects or different commodities, different investments, and Bitcoin is definitely going to be one of them. So do not be surprised if you see a lot of Bitcoin's going to 6K, Bitcoin's going to dump, and then it takes off and leaves everybody behind, forcing FOMO going into 2020. So I am not surprised by this green right now. I've been telling literally everybody that is in my phone that has ever talked to me about trading or using Bitcoin, now is the time to start looking at buying if you haven't yet. So let's jump into our top story of the day. Wait 1 second before we do that. Let's holler at everybody jumping into the chat. Monique Michelle, how you doing? Kevin Hodges, what's going on, brother? Leroy Forbes, how you doing? Madam Crypto, good to see you. Your book is on the way. Appreciate the support. Ronan, Bushido style, what's up? What's up? Good morning. Shannon Allen, of course, was good, brother. Crypto and Culture, Allison Thompson. A lot of people coming in today. Clarence Dennison, Jamal J, my brother, Kevin Hodges. Yes, sir. So glad everybody's in today and settled. Let's jump into the first story. Binance is now accepting fiat through Alipay and WeChat, opening up the exchange to peer-to-peer crypto transactions from China. Oh, yeah. So let's give it up to Binance. All right. So, yes. In September, they announced they will add over-the-counter options as a way to add fiat on-ramps. One of the best things about this is that they are not, directly working with WeChat or Alipay, but they are able to use them for the peer-to-peer transactions. So the partnership, a lot of people got hype over. That is merely them using their services, which is good because if they partnered with Alipay or WeChat, they would have to abide by Alipay and WeChat rules, which we don't really want. WeChat actually has 1.1 billion active users, and Alipay has over 900 million users as well. So we're looking at about 2 billion people being able to onboard on Binance easily and quickly. And that may be one of the reasons you're starting to see the uptick in the market, altcoins and Bitcoin. So shout out to CZ. Like I said, give that man a hand clap because at the very least, his company is moving forward. Even if he doesn't do things people like, it is still moving forward. It does not matter. So let's see. You got a few more people jumping in. My boy Coop. What's up, Ryan Cooper? Jumping in. What's up, brother? Tony Nolly, Mr. Gibson, sir. Oh, yeah. And Madam Crypto. Oh, yeah. Definitely. So the SEC is in settlement talks with the fraudulent ICO organizer Reggie Middleton. Man, you hate to see it. My brother Reggie Middleton, got to meet him a couple years ago at the Black Blockchain Summit in DC. Unfortunately, he's going through it with his Veritasium initial coin offering. So it states here, in a filing with the New York Eastern District Court, published October 2nd, the regulator said discussions with the defendants have taken place ahead of a pretrial conference. So one of the things you want to see, or the SEC has done, is they have taken money from SIA, $225,000 settlement. They've taken money from EOS, $24 million penalty. And one of the things that is argued with Veritasium is that the tokens were referred to as software, and they were not something that was, basically put out there as an investment vehicle. Middleton, He was accused of manipulating the security's value and misappropriating at least $500,000 of investors' money for personal use. In 2017, Middleton actually claimed the hacker stole $8 million of funds during the ICO, and those funds are still missing. So at this point, his funds are still frozen, and they'll have that pre-trial conference November 14th. So hopefully he comes out on top there. If he has to pay a penalty, hopefully it's not too bad, simply because we've seen this before. CS penalty wasn't bad. EOS was nothing compared to the $4 billion they raised. So hopefully we get some more information about that. Hold your head, Reggie. A lot of people support you. Definitely want to try and get through it, but yes, got to deal with the SEC. If you have something even close to a security, they think it's a security, they're probably going to snatch you up and ask a few questions. So yes, that is definitely one of the things we want to look forward to. November 14th. Moving right along. UK, their central bank has established provisions for Facebook's Libra. So Libra's been all over the news, looking through news stories this morning and last night. One of the biggest things I saw was that they were on every news channel, every crypto news thing. It looks like they're definitely putting out some information for a reason. The Bank of England presented its latest financial policy summary, which addresses the resilience of the UK financial system in general. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We love our country, whatever. So they talked about requiring payment systems like Libra to meet the highest standards of resilience and fall under relevant supervisory oversight. One of the things I hate about these governments and regulations and bureaucrats is the language that they use around new technologies. They always make it seem as though these technologies can only work if we keep our great supervision over it. That shit ain't worked since you started. Honestly, the supervision has fallen short. We have trillions of dollars missing. We have rampant stealing in the bank markets, basically, with interest rates and things of that nature. So I don't believe regulators have our best interest at heart. However, they are going to try and regulate Libra. The actual quote here actually states, the resilience of the proposed Libra system will rely on the stability of not just the core elements of the Libra Association and Libra Reserve, but also the associated critical activities conducted by other firms. These activities in the ecosystem, such as validators, exchange, or wallet providers. So they are basically saying that they have a healthy skepticism, just like the French and German finance ministers, if you remember. They have a healthy skepticism to see if it'll work. I don't care if Facebook Libra's launches or not, but I am watching close to see how they handle it, because this is scaring them. That has them shaking in their boots. And unfortunately for them, Bitcoin's actually being low key. They're not mentioning it. And I think if you're a Bitcoin person, you should be excited, simply because if they're talking about new payment systems and they're like, man, leave Bitcoin alone, we can't do anything with that. We didn't win, but we are basically on the right track. They can't really do anything. We've had plenty of people say there's nothing we can do to regulate Bitcoin. So a great win for us there. Let's see, a few more people jumping in. Let's see, New Legacy. Good afternoon. Jason Jamin. XRP finally did something on his own without Bitcoin. Still a crappy coin to me. Oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would agree with you. A lot of XRP shills jump in and try and argue, but I don't care. It's still a trash coin to me. Let's see, Aircoins Lee, Elizabeth Warren will put an end to that Libra shit. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it'll be some regulator that clamps down. Nobody really likes Mark Zuckerberg. On the consumer side, nobody really likes him. He's stealing our information. On the regulator side, they don't like him because he's about to steal their money, basically, and take away their honeypot. So nobody really likes him, but you got to deal with him. Wyatt Sparks, what's going on? Glad to have you in. John Spellers, a few more people. Let's see. Janice Ingram, thank you for coming in as well. So this next story, one of the funniest stories I've seen in a while. German programmer hacks back after Bitcoin ransomware attack. Give that man a hand clap. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. So people are not just laying down and letting themselves get hacked, or if they get, basically some sort of ransomware, they are hacking back. German programmer Tobias Fromel, aka Battlelek, has hacked back the perpetrators of the ransomware, who forced him to pay 0.09 Bitcoin. So not even $800 worth. At the time, it was worth about $740 at press time. They basically have a fixed fee of 0.09 ransomware. For those of you who don't know, ransomware is virus that takes over your computer. In order for you to get your information back from the ransomware, they offer you a ransom. You pay it, they send it back to you, right? I don't negotiate with terrorists. I've had somebody do that before, and they received nothing. You just gonna have to take it. So that's one of the things that is great about this story. People fighting back. So once they took it, one of the things he did was he was able to hack them back, and he paid himself back about $670 worth of the hack. He hacked their command and control server, and he told Bleeping Computer, which is where the story come from, that he succeeded in retrieving the unique hardware IDs and decryption keys for the victims that were stored in this database. So one of the best parts about this is if you hack somebody, you better hope they don't have the skills to do it back, because they will probably find you and they will probably hack you right back. And unfortunately for them, it was such a small amount of money. It wasn't even worth it. $740. Of course, if you get 1,000 people hit, you can make some good money off of it. But this one guy can hack you back and take back all of the information you stole before. You basically just lost your business. And I'm sure they'll have more of an investigation going on. So I love to see people fighting back against, bad actors in the space. Everybody can't hack somebody back. However, I do have some friends in low places that are able to do some things. And I know if that happens to me again, there will be some hacking back and forth. And I don't know about anybody else, but one of the biggest things too in the space is please don't let somebody find your location. If you're doing any type of frivolous things on the dark web, or if you're stealing information, don't let somebody be able to use a skip trace as well as me and some of my partners and be able to find you. So yes, shout out to that German programmer. I'd love to have a beer with him sometime just to pick his brain and see what that was like. But great for him, and everybody else should feel empowered. At this point, people are starting to hack back. Shout out to him. A few more people coming in. Marquez Jones, John Spellis, thank you for coming in. Let's see. Trust Truth. Just imagine the control they're going to have. LibraCoin, Mark of the Beast. Yes, I have heard people say that a lot. This is what I'll say. I tell people this all the time. When people were talking about Bitcoin as being the global currency, that's like the mark of the beast, I was like, well, that's sort of not able to happen simply because it's decentralized. We don't know who created it. But if Facebook was able to create a currency and everybody had to use it, or if everybody wanted to use it, I can see some things along that line where everything's tracked, locations. They're doing it now with banks, but with Facebook, they would have other information like what websites you go to, marketing. They would have everything on you basically on Facebook. So it could be something when people say market of the beast, or basically 1984, where we have basically tracking everything. That would be one step in that direction. Bitcoin, though, no, decentralized, not at all. So that wouldn't happen. Let's see. Aircoins Lee, what's your thought on McAfee Dex? Why won't people ignore his shenanigans? McAfee's an interesting character. I think he has a lot of pull with people who have, sort of the renegade lifestyle, or like, F it all. That's sort of how they feel. So people use it. I saw the McAfee Dex, haven't said it in the news simply because I haven't tried it myself. I don't want to put people onto it and it doesn't work, or it's something going on with it. I will be trying it out today, going into this weekend though. Let's see, Shannon Allen. Let's see, I spoke to him earlier. Oh, talk to McAfee. Oh, nice. That'll be fun. That should have been fun. And let's see, anybody else? Oh no more on Twitter. So let's move forward. Our last story of the day, last but not least. Oh man, RIP, Poloniex. All my Poloniex OGs out there, you remember these coins right here. They have delisted Clams, Pascal, Steam, Navcoin, Game Credits, and Library. Oh man, so it looks as though the crypto exchange Poloniex has announced it is delisting these 6 digital currencies. Per the announcement, they will be disabled October 15th. So if you're one of those people still holding on to the last bit of library credits, go ahead and get them off Poloniex. I have not actively traded Clams, Game Credits, or Nav. However, I have actively traded Pascal back in the day, 2-day trade where it jumped 80% in about 48 hours, and Steam for a little bit, but I got out of it once I realized it wasn't really pushing forward. And one of the funniest stories was some of the people who traded with Pascal. If you remember Pascal and Poloniex, for those of you who are older, been in the space for a while, that 48-hour period where it went up 80%, or maybe more, I think it was like 300%, but I caught 80% of it. That was one of the funniest nights simply because it got listed the same day that it started getting traded, and it just was instantly it was just a shit show. I mean, people were losing money left and right. People were just throwing money at it. But this is what happens to coins that don't really have a use case. They get delisted. And if you're one of those people holding those coins overnight, the value can drop. So you want to make sure you're investing in a actually good project, something with a product These coins were just used for good flips, but nah, they haven't really done anything. But RIP to them. They're gone off Poloniex. Looks like Poloniex is trying to clean it up a bit and get rid of some of the coins that don't have any real volume. And honestly, I mean, most of these exchanges should be getting rid of most of these coins. They don't have real volume. But for those of you who remember Pascal Steam, pour out a little liquor for them today because they are gone off Poloniex. And November 15th, they will be permanently disabled. So let's see what people in the chat are talking about. Let's see. Ryan Cooper, what's your take on cold storage coins? So as far as coins that are held in cold storage, good for your safety. If there's actual just cold storage coins, I'll have to look that up. But yes, and I can give more information on that later. Let's see. Judah Tunes, big up you. Bomba Clot. Oh, yeah. Appreciate you, brother. Guan. Let's see. Madam Crypto. Steam. Saw that coming. Yeah, Steam. It was a novel project. I remember reading the white paper at work. When Steam came out, I was working at the law firm doing IT, as some people know. I would remember sitting at work the first time I heard about Steam, reading the white paper and thinking to myself, this could work. But it was a very complicated white paper. And it was one of those things where I was like, it could work, but there's a lot of bells and whistles that go along with it. It should be, their MVP should have been a lot simpler. And then I think they could have scaled up from there. But they had Steam dollars, then they had Steam, STAM, which you held. It was just a lot going on. Wasn't really much use case for people out. People use Twitter and people use other stuff. So it was one of those things where it could have been falling down back in the day, but it's finally gone today. Let's see. Judah Tunes, what do I think about Ken, the coin made by Kick? Well, Ken is still around, but Kick is toast. You are right, Ryan Cooper. Ken, the token is still going forward. We'll see how it goes. If it feels like they are rushing into trying to get it out there simply because Kick just went away and now the Ken token is just jumping in. They may just be trying to lock in profits. We'll see. But yes, that is all of the stories I have for you today. A couple of quick announcements. First, if you are in the Los Angeles area, I just signed on yesterday afternoon to speak at the Bitcoin Brunch Basics. It will be in Santa Monica, hosted by Ann from the Rabbit Hole Network. It'll be a lot of speakers there talking about Bitcoin basics. It'll be things such as wallets, things you hear in the media, how they're untrue. My speech will actually be about do your own research, how you can be fooled by media as well as wrong statistics. So that will be Sunday, October 13th in Santa Monica. I'll be posting that on Twitter as well as a few places, Facebook throughout the week so people will know. So yes, October 13th, this Sunday coming up. I just signed on last night to speak at the Bitcoin Basics Brunch. And next week is LA Blockchain Week. So kicking it off Sunday with the Bitcoin Basics Brunch. In the talks right now to do a book signing at Crypto Plug in Inglewood. So that should be this week as well. And I will be at CIS. I won't be speaking. However, I will be around at CIS so some people can see me. Also, too, want to make sure people know Bitcoin in Black America on sale right now on Amazon. Just came back from Chicago. Been to a lot of different places, DC, Richmond, Charlotte, been all over the country. A lot of good reception for the book. Also, a lot of good donations. I've been telling people, make sure for the kids, for those of you who want to support Crypto Kids Camp in Charlotte, as well as in Inglewood, California, donate some Bitcoin, man. If you got a couple dollars of Bitcoin laying around, support the kids. We want to make sure we have the best camp. And right now, the only summer camp in the world right now, focused on kids, focused on cryptocurrency. So we're doing big things. We definitely want those donations, and we'll shout you out if you send it that way. So thank you to everybody for watching today. Make sure to follow us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. Make sure you follow the podcast, and we will be back tomorrow. Cheers.